everyone. It's Candace and Liz from Millennial TeaV. And as you can see, we are missing Miss Adrian today. She is still recovering from her jaw surgery, which we both talked to her. We have a group chat, so we talk all the time. She's doing really well. I don't think she can talk just yet. This whole process is like intense. She's on this liquid diet. She's like can't talk, so she's mostly been I think she's had pretty bad headaches for the first week or so. So I don't think she's really been doing much of anything. But I think she's starting to get into playing a little Sims and watching a little TV. And but she's doing great, and she's a trooper because I don't think I could do what she's doing.
I don't think I could do 8 weeks of a liquid diet. That is a really long time.
Yeah, that's intense. I think I would be, but she can't chew.
Right.
So like.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah. I can't imagine not talking for that long.
Yeah.
I'm a talker.
Yeah.
But I guess there's always texting and things like that, but I would be like dying to say stuff.
Yes.
But she's doing well for everybody that's been asking, and she will be back. But Liz and I binge watched the ANTM reality check documentary on Netflix, and as millennials, we have to talk about it.
Oh, yes.
And we'll get Adrian's take on this later. But holy crapola.
I know.
I was not ready.
Yeah.
If you're a millennial, you obviously grew up on ANTM. Even if you didn't watch it when it was airing, we had those VH1 all-day marathons where they would just play a cycle until the very end, which I loved those.
Me too.
That's where I truly fell in love. I knew a lot of my friends were watching it as it aired, but I just always caught the marathon.
Same. I never watched it when it aired live.
No. And I just remember this one day at school, my one friend who's very eccentric was pretending to be Tyra, and we were all the models. And we were like crying and like trying to like win.
Oh
it was
gosh.
so funny. Like ANTM is such an era. And it's so memeable.
Yeah.
Like when I think of Shandy, the only thing I hear in my head is her boyfriend screaming into the phone, "You had sex?
You had sex? Oh my god. Oh my god."
Oh my gosh. I was a little bit sad that they didn't include that clip in the I'm like, I understand why, okay, but also like so memorable. Oh my gosh.
So memorable. And of course we were all rooting for you. I mean, it's one of those shows that just had some great moments.
Yes.
And I was so excited to see the Jays. And noted fashion photographer Nigel Barker. Every time I talk about him, I have to say noted fashion photographer because that's how he was always introduced on the show. And dude, he has aged like fine wine.
Yeah,
I think they all so hot. I think I've always thought Nigel Barker was so sexy, and they portrayed him that way on the show too. But I mean, he's a good looking man in his aging.
Yes.
But there was so much revealed in this documentary, and there's like a couple of points that I really want to touch on. Number one is Tyra's apology. Or lack thereof.
Not really an apology.
And here's the thing. If you watch the documentary, you'll have to let us know what you think. But I think it comes off that she's not sorry because she isn't.
Oh, totally. Yeah. She's not sorry at all.
No. Yeah. And I think like, okay, Tyra is an incredible businesswoman, right?
Yep.
She has built her brand. She's gorgeous. She's a crazy and talented model, right?
Yes.
No one ever said she was a good person.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
And like when you're an executive producer on a reality TV show, I'm sorry, but there's just some moral boundaries that you're going to cross.
Yeah.
And it made really good television.
It did.
Right?
It really did.
People keep coming down on her because she said you guys kept demanding more, so we gave you more. And then it's like, oh, so like if we asked for like, you know, jumping off bridges, like, would you do that? And it's like, no, but there's something to be said about that. The demand gets higher and higher and higher, so you keep doing crazier and crazier stuff.
Yeah.
And personally, I think if you sign up for a reality show, you know what you're signing up for.
Yes, especially like way later seasons when they've already done so much stuff already, and it's like they're thinking of what can we do next to be shocking or whatever.
Right, like season 1, maybe you didn't know, maybe you really thought this was a modeling competition.
Right.
The rest of the cycles, it's kind of like you're not, whatever you thought you were signing up for, you're not. You're signing up to make good television.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's hard for me to feel bad for the girls who signed up, because you would think just like basic logic in your brain, they're trying to make television. They're not they're not really trying to make you a model, like kind of in the background.
Yeah, that was one of the most interesting takeaways that I had, was I never realized like, oh wait, they can't actually use these photos like in their like they're not really modeling photos, you know?
No.
And that it just it wasn't like legit, I guess, if that makes sense.
Well, I think the winners, they get a certain amount
package. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they get a certain amount of a package, and that's that. But if you don't win the competition, no, of course not. You can't use anything.
You're screwed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I feel like it's experience from great people in the industry, but you're going to have to go out and make it your own.
Yes.
Regardless.
Yeah.
It's like a fun boot camp, right? But it doesn't really do anything for your modeling career.
Right. Yeah.
At large. Now, there have been models off the show that have done really successfully.
Yes.
But those are also the people that went out and made it work for them. And I feel like, God love her, Danielle. God, people are going to be like, you're so wrong. I just feel like she's complaining. She won the whole competition. Okay. And yes, you are treated differently as an America's Next Top Model winner. People aren't going to take you seriously. It's the same thing as like winning American Idol. You're not always taken seriously as a performer. That's just how competition reality shows go.
Yeah, because it's like you're winning a game show.
Danielle was cycles in. She should have known that going in. And I know there's all this controversy over her gap and closing her gap. Listen, I get it. The gap can be your thing. That can be what sets you apart. I totally get it. And I had a gap, okay, as a child. My 2 front teeth, I had a big gap. And my mom stuck a retainer in my mouth so quick to close my gap. I wanted it closed. But regardless, at the time in the industry, I believe Tyra when she says agents were telling her they would not book her with that gap in her mouth. And I do think it comes down to, she widened it on Another Girl later seasons, and people keep talking about that. But I think there's something to be said about race.
Yes. Yeah.
In that as well. Because the girl they widened the gap for was white.
Yeah.
And I think it could be considered quirky on a white girl. And on a black girl, it could be considered low class.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
So I think there was that people aren't really considering. And I also think Danielle said she felt like she was forced. And at the same time, I was like, you weren't forced, because they did not hold you down. Yeah. You could have quit the competition. You didn't want to quit the competition.
It was her choice. I mean, they definitely like pressured her into it.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, she still sat down in the chair and let them do it.
Right. You always have a choice.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I'm like, Danielle, you wanted to win.
Yeah.
So you did. So you did what they had to do, and you did win. You won the competition. So what does that say? It's not like you did it for nothing. You did win ANTM.
Yes.
And you did get a modeling contract. That was all you were promised, babe.
Yeah, the rest is on you. You got to do the work.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't feel bad to that extent. It's like you should have known you're going on a reality TV show. There's just there's a lot that comes with that. Shandy, That poor sweet girl.
I know.
Shandy was a favorite of mine because Shandy came out of like absolutely nowhere and blew everybody out of the water. She could just flawlessly model.
Yeah.
And it was like, where is this coming from?
Yes.
You work at Walgreens.
I
So, I mean, everybody felt that way about Shandy, and everybody felt heartbroken for her when she got a little too drunk.
Yep.
And, you know, what happened happened.
It's so wild to think about being one of those cameramen, and that's where I question, why didn't somebody step in and say something, regardless of the other girls, because all the other girls were super drunk, and who knows what they were thinking. But if I was a cameraman, I feel like I'd be like, hang on a second, like maybe we should, I don't know. I know that's not their job, but...
Shandy said no one did anything. And here's the thing. As one of the girls in the house, I feel like I would have not known that she didn't want to.
I agree.
It wasn't an obvious she's screaming no, or anything to that effect. And it seemed like, at least initially in the hot tub, and I know editing and whatever, but it seemed really like she was into it. And of course she has every right to not be into it at any point.
Right.
And change her mind. That is absolutely valid. But I can't help you if I don't know.
Yeah, from everybody else's perspective, it wasn't obvious. Right. I feel like,
So I feel terrible for her because she probably felt totally alone. But I can't help you if I don't know what's going on. And so I don't blame the girls. I do think that the cameramen and the production had a little bit more of a responsibility. And probably should have been like, she is too drunk to consent.
Yeah.
And, you know, but also these girls in the house, they were not your friend. They were your competition.
No.
And it was not, they're not your best friend. They're not going to come in the room and be like, Shandy, remember you have a boyfriend? Like, how am I supposed to know that you don't want to be there? And that, like, you're not going to tell me to fuck right off.
And they all had just met each other. So it's not like they'd been living together for months and months.
So, I mean, again, if you're in a house with your best friend's going to stop you, right? They're going to be like, what the hell, and protect you. But these girls didn't have any loyalty to each other yet. So I just feel like, I feel so bad for her. I do. And it shouldn't have happened. She deserved more. Especially from production, because afterwards they did not have to turn it into a storyline once they realized what was happening, and they still did.
I thought it was really messed up that they refused to give her a phone to call her boyfriend until she said that she would do it on camera. That was not cool.
Again, executive producers of reality TV series are not good people. They're not your friends. They're just trying to get good television.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I understand, but it was fucked up.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy too, because it's like, yes, the way reality TV is done now, it has changed a little bit, but I was thinking of like, this just happened like 7 or 8 years ago on Bachelor in Paradise, like almost the exact same thing, like where one of the girls got really drunk and they ended up doing stuff. And then the next day she's like, oh, I didn't really want to do that. So it's still happening. Like the cameramen are still making it happen.
What's wild to me is like, I just recently found out that like most of the girls on Rock of Love were actually sleeping with Bret Michaels.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I was like,
gross.
What? Yeah, he was like actually sleeping with some of them.
Wow.
I don't know. Reality TV is a crazy place. So, God, these documentaries, just keep them coming. I'm so into them.
I could watch hours and hours of them just talking about all the different things that they did.
How do you feel about what Tyra did to Jay?
That was really messed up. I was very sad for him, but I was also very confused of why he was like, I sent this email to her and said I was going to quit. And then, of course, like she responded with like a 1 sentence or whatever back.
I am so disappointed.
Yeah. And they never like actually talked about it. But then he ended up staying on for like 9 more cycles or something. I was like, hang on a second. That was kind of odd.
I was like, how many cycles was he actually on? And he was on for a long time. And I think from what he was saying, I think he felt really intimidated to stay on. Yeah. And the fact that Tyra didn't talk to him from like cycle 9 on.
That's insane. I can't imagine being so close with somebody like that and then not, and you have to work with them and act like everything's cool and you still like each other, that would be horrible.
Here's the thing. I don't think Tyra Banks has friends. I think Tyra Banks has coworkers.
Yes. Yep.
She's never herself until she's alone with herself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get from Tyra Banks. And
she's always on. Yeah.
Yes. And even in this documentary, she's very like, I can't talk about that. Yeah, my favorite part was honestly when they were like, do you want to talk about what happened with Jay? And she was like, no.
Can we talk now about what happened with you and Jay?
No. I'm not going to talk about that.
I should call Jay. I don't want to do this here. Yeah.
I wonder if they pressed her at all, like if they tried to get anything out, or if they were just like, okay, next question. Like,
and the fact that she hasn't visited Miss J.
I know.
When Miss J has gone through a whole stroke.
I had no idea about that.
No, I had no idea either. And that actually made me tear up when he was like, I taught girls to walk and now I can't walk.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was like, Miss J, say whatever you want about Miss J, but he is one talented runway walker.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
The J's made the show for me. Nigel Barker made the show for me. And so when we got into the later part of the documentary and they were talking about that they replaced all of them, I literally was like, that's where they lost the plot.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't watch the college season. I didn't watch the short girl season. I didn't watch the, in quarantine, I did watch the British invasion season, which was actually like hysterical. So I did watch that. There's if you're interested, they did music videos that season. And
oh my gosh. Okay.
So freaking funny.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, that's where they truly lost the plot.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Guy season. Like, who wants to watch Guy models?
Who wants
Not
to see
me.
that? I know. Come on.
Not me.
No. I feel like that happens on a lot of reality shows too, when they get rid of like their original people that everybody loved, then the show just like completely falls apart.
You'd think they'd realize that it's not going to work that way because people fall in love with who they fall in love with. They did it with Dance Moms too. And like they got rid of all the original girls and then brought in new girls. And it's like, well, I wanted to see those girls advance. I don't want to see a whole new group of people advance. So yeah, I just feel like they absolutely lost the plot. I feel like I do believe Tyra and Ken when they say they didn't have anything to do with it and it was the network. I think it could have been handled better. I think Tyra could have had a conversation with them. But she didn't. And I think that's the biggest part of that. But I do believe her when she says it was the network because they fired her too.
Yeah, that's true.
And let me tell you, Tyra was making a damn fool out of herself to host that show every single cycle. A damn fool. And there were some great moments, okay? In the documentary, they show that one where she pretends that she's fainting in front of the girls and everybody's like freaking out and crying because they think Tyra's passing out. I mean, she did some crazy shit.
She did.
And they fired her like it was nothing. And I literally went, wait, they tried to do it without Tyra?
Like, I don't even know that.
I was like, that's Rita Ora? I had no idea. It was Rita Ora. I'm like, who? No, so absolutely weird. Not.
Yeah. I don't remember even seeing anything about that, so probably wasn't good.
But then the craziest part is Tyra saying that we have no idea what's coming for cycle 25. It was like an announcement for a new ANTM. I was like, I literally looked at Jasmine and I went, did she just announce a new season of ANTM? And she was like, I think she did.
Yeah. Do we think that's actually going to happen?
The only way it would work is if she brought back the Jays.
I agree, yeah. And I don't think she would do that.
I don't think she would either. Jay was saying in another interview that I was watching Nigel was talking about how Tyra is not a confrontational person. Like, she will avoid confrontation at all costs. And they were like, well, what's your relationship with her? And he was like, I see her at events and we're friendly, but she's not ever going to come up to you and confront you. She's not ever going to call you and confront. It's just not going to happen.
She's just going to act like nothing happened or just ignore it and stuff like that.
And I think that's what it would be. It would be like, you know, so, and I don't know that Jay would come back. Maybe Miss Jay. I don't know that Jay would. I think he's too hurt. Yeah. Because he thought that they were friends. Again, I don't think Tyra Banks has friends. I think she has coworkers. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, people are like, Tyra's terrible. Well, yeah.
Obviously.
She's not a great person, obviously. Yeah. She's monumentally talented and is so fun to watch. But no, she's not a good person. No. I was blown away by the documentary. I loved it. I did too. And there's going to be one apparently with Janice Dickinson on, I think, Prime coming out soon. That's exciting. So that'll be fun to watch. And I think Lisa is part of that documentary. And Lisa, if you remember, she was on All Stars. She was also not a runner-up, but she was in like the top, 6 of her cycle. And she has a lot to say about ANTM after exciting. The show. So yeah, that's why Janice wasn't a part of this one, is because she was contracted for the other one.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Yeah, why she wasn't in it.
So I guess we'll see. I think we're gonna get some of the girls. Yeah, some of the girls who are a little bit more bitter than the ones we got in the Netflix documentary. I was surprised to see Shannon from season 1.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
And Kenya.
Yes.
This might be controversial, but Kenya was in a modeling competition in the 2000s. And the girl had a pooch. Ooh, again, I think she's beautiful. I don't care about the pooch. But modeling in the 2000s?
Yeah, it was a different thing, different time.
And she was like, well, it just sucks that they made that my storyline. And it's like, of course they made that your storyline.
Of course they did.
It's reality television.
Yeah, I don't understand how these girls all come on thinking that they're going to make them look great and have I'm going to be the lovable character and stuff. Yeah. It's like, no, you're probably all going to be unlikable at some point.
Yeah. And I'm, again, not saying at all that Kenya was fat or shouldn't have been in the competition or isn't a good model at all. Yeah. I'm just saying that she had a pooch and the other girls did not. Yeah. And so it makes things noticeable. Yeah. And they're going to point it out. It's the same thing with Whitney saying, they didn't have clothes that fit me. Of course they didn't, because they were trying to prove a point about the industry.
Yeah, that wasn't surprising to me.
Yeah, it wasn't about you. It wasn't about making you specifically feel bad. It was about, that's how it is in the industry sometimes. And she's like, well, they could have easily gotten clothes that fit me. Of course they could have.
Of course.
But they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's the same thing happened to Takara. They were trying to prove a point about plus size models, and you still won the competition.
Yes. Yeah, she won.
So that's what's frustrating about some of the gripes. But I agree, I can't judge too harshly because I will never be on reality TV. I don't, knowing everything that I know now, I don't think they could pay me enough.
I don't know. It would depend on lots of things.
I certainly wouldn't go on ANTM. Maybe like...
No.
Maybe like The Real World.
Maybe.
Because it's kind of like a vacation. If I was like 10 years younger.
Yeah, exactly. Not now, I don't think.
If I was like 24 and still super hot and could drink, I'd do it. For sure. Anyways, anything else you want to talk about in this doc?
I was just really glad that they made it a point at the beginning, like the first episode, to say this was the early 2000s. It was a different time, because it's like, while all these criticisms have come out over the years, I agree with them. But at the time, it wasn't being criticized in that way at all, because it was just the norm.
And you have to think of things in the lens of the time that it was in. Otherwise, nothing is ever going to be perfect. It just isn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
And cause this is coming from a person who watches pretty much exclusively television from the 90s and 2000s. I mean, it is what it is. It's of the era. It's of the time. Yeah, we're rewatching Buffy right now, which is one of my faves. But there was an episode where they were having a cultural dance and everyone was dressed up in different cultures. And I was like, this is really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like really uncomfortable by the fact that they're doing this right now. But like, you didn't think about it back then. You're like, well, whatever. It's a cultural dance. Like, it's fine.
Yep.
You never think about this stuff until you think about it. So
also having them do challenges that it seemed like they were competing with other reality shows at the time, like the Fear Factor thing. I didn't even think about that. And I was like, Fear Factor was making all these people eat bugs and stuff. So of course they're going to do a photo shoot where you have to have cockroaches on your face and stuff. Like, it makes sense.
But I will say the tarantula shoot, they all looked amazing.
They did. They did.
I would buy that jewelry.
Yep. I remember watching that one.
Yeah.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Eva was hysterically crying and then got a great shot.
Yep.
And I will say, like, there's something to be said, too, about the modeling industry in the 2000s specifically. They talked about it a little bit in the documentary, but, like, heroin chic was in.
Yes.
And so, of course, they were pushing the girls to be skinnier. Of course, they were, and Tyra was trying to push boundaries by letting in plus size models and, that kind of thing, and letting in Latina models. And I think she had good intentions. Mm-hmm. Did it always pan out? No.
I think at the beginning she had the best intentions, and then she just got caught up in, this is a huge hit, I'm famous, this is my show, and it just, spiraled from there, which happens a lot in Hollywood.
Well, let us know if you guys are excited for Cycle 25.
Yes.
I posted just an interest poll on our Instagram that was like, did you watch the documentary?
What were the results?
There were, let me look it up here, because there were a couple no who cares, and I was like,
oh goodness.
Yeah. So 24% was no who cares.
Wow.
35% with 6 votes was yes, amazing insight. Mm-hmm. 1%, 6%, I'm living for a new ANTM era. And then 35%, no, I don't support Tyra.
I mean, I don't really support Tyra either, but I'd still watch it. I'm totally contradicting myself.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. It surprised me that there were people who said no, who cares? Because I was like, I grew up on this. You want to be on top?
Yeah.
Like, that was my jam. I wanted to be on top.
Oh, it's so funny.
So yeah, surprising. But yeah, I will watch the first episode of Cycle 25 if it ever happens.
Oh, me too.
I will give it a solid try.
Yep.
Things are so different now though with streaming. Like,
I know. Yeah, it's very different.
Oh, also, I don't know why I never thought about this, but I thought it was super interesting that they didn't get to go home after they got eliminated.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was crazy, too, that they were just, like, trapped in a hotel.
I'm like...
Because they brought them all back for the finale, right? The final, thing at the very end. But I feel like if you were the first one eliminated, that would be
wait.
awful.
That's a long wait. I know.
Gosh.
I know, and you're not allowed to talk to anybody.
Yeah, you're basically in jail in the hotel.
I'd have been like, I'm going home. I don't.
Yeah.
And like a lot of those girls had babies and stuff, and like and like sometimes those girls are like, I just want to go home, and they quit on their own, but they don't actually get to go home.
That would be awful.
Yeah. And do you remember little Brooke? She was only 18, and she missed her high school graduation.
Yes.
To be on the show, and then she was eliminated literally the night of her high school graduation.
I forgot it was the same night.
And then she had to go sit in a hotel room and not talk to anybody.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible.
Oh God. I felt so bad for Brooke. I liked her. She was not a very good model, but I liked her. She was very like upbeat and like happy. And I did feel bad for her that like she was missing her graduation.
For sure.
That's something you can't get back. So, but yeah, let us know if you're interested in Cycle 25 or what you thought of the documentary, or if you agree with anything we said.
Yes.
It feels so good to get this out. I have been dying. I binge watched all 3 episodes in one night, and I was like, I'm making a TikTok video or something. I have to talk about this. So I messaged Liz like, let's make a video.
Yes.
So if you want us to do more chit chat, fun stuff like this, let us know, because we always want to talk pop culture.
Oh yeah.
So
yes,
especially millennial pop culture.
Yes.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on this week's MTV. If you liked hanging out, make sure to follow the show wherever you listen and hit us up on Instagram and TikTok at Millennial TeaV. Remember, new episodes drop every week, and we want you to forgive us, but please don't forget us. We are your hosts, Candace, Liz, and Adrian, and we'll see you next week.